right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ellison Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you to the hopefully post-thunderstorm sleepyhead late night edition of Bayonetta Origins. In all honesty, this recording session is probably going to be a huge mistake because the storm has only been subsided for about an hour or so, and this is coming off the cusp of massive house-shaking thunder booms as well as, I don't know, quarter-shaped sizes of hail. It was insane, but luckily the next half of the game kind of plays itself, and it's gonna hopefully go pretty quickly. Whirlpools, as you can see, are awful. They do literally nothing to us.
Wrong way.
And apparently, what? We are not going the wrong way, Cereza. I am so sorry. Here, we'll toss this up here and get some of these goodies. That's the only real thing of interest down here is just some of this stuff, so we'll just go ahead and collect it all the same. We're already doing really well compared to where we were last time, so toss it again. Nice. Kobe. And I don't know that there was anything else up here. Huh. Okay. Well, let's head off into this direction because if you couldn't have guessed, there's a fight. Ooh, okay. Okay. This changes things. I suppose we should maybe do something like this. Yeah, this is why I like Wood Cheshire. This is why he's one of my favorites. Okay. Now. Alright. I suppose we have a new foe. That's not very fun. You will, of course, spawn your friends here, so... Okay, so he is just going to be real complicated. Okay, that's fine. He gets bit into all the same.
How about this?
Alright, well, I don't know about you, but that performance seemed to be pretty pathetic coming from someone who made such a flashy entrance, wouldn't you say? Now, before we actually move on into more pools of death, we'll go ahead and deal with this fiery instance up here, and we could just do that. Okay, so we'll try to get these two. And there's also some of these creepy little, like, carnival slash circus helmets, but in the form of laundry baskets. It's very weird. I don't know what else is up here. But now, check something out that I feel like is a little broken. You're gonna be pretty tempted to put this fire out, right? Well, if you try to go up with Cheshire, he will immediately just walk into it automatically. Aside from, you know, prompting him to climb up, he will always just fall off, so you can't reach it. And the very first time I played this, I actually was able to just aqua stream into the wall and get it. But there we go. You just have to get really particularly lucky and not fall off. It's absolutely broken, and I was like right under here when I was able to aqua stream it the first time. I was like, oh, that's weird. I'll have to make a note of that if I decide to LP this game. But that matters not now. We have basically a one-way. Anything else you want to do up to this point, as you have been exploring with Cheshire and doing things out in the world, this is the point of no return for a little bit. For a pretty long time, actually, until basically endgame status things. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this whirlpool, since it doesn't seem to pose much of a threat to us. And I want to snag this. Can you tell me wrong way again? 2 times in a row? How wrong am I? I guess it does come back. But over here, let me see. There is like a side path that you need to take. Are you gonna say wrong way a third time for getting caught in that? I hope you do.
Can't even control the elements. Pathetic.
Oh my god, how rude, Cereza. Okay, this must be the one down here. There we go. More treasure in the form of a piece of journal. Okay, but now time for the rapids. Whatever you do, don't fall in.
Cheshire was having a grand time steering the lily pad every which way.
Cheshire, slow down! I'm soaked! I told you to go slow!
Okay, well, that's good to know that we have officially reached a place that we should not have under any circumstances. You could explore around here if you really want to. There is just nothing there. So, again, we just came off some pretty intense rapids, so not a lot we can do there even if we wanted to. Let's climb up here and prepare for a bit of a reckoning in the world's coziest spot.
Cereza.
Who's there?
How could this be? Before Cereza stood her mother.
Mummy? Is it really you?
Yes, my dearest Cereza. Come this way. Cereza.
Mummy? Is that you? Mummy?
Come this way.
Mummy, please don't go.
Yes, my dearest Cereza.
Mummy, wait! Mummy, please! I'm coming, Mummy! Don't leave me again!
The shade vanished with a blood-chilling scream that echoed through the trees.
Mummy.
Cheshire's strike had shattered the illusion, but it had taken a frightful toll on Cereza. She collapsed to her knees, her mother's final screams still ringing in her ears. Cheshire glanced down at Cereza. He told her to hurry and get a move on, but the tears would not stop. Come on! If I hadn't dealt with that shade, you'd be face down at the bottom of that cliff! With each passing moment, the demon became increasingly annoyed.
Cheshire! How could you? How could you do that to her?
Unable to take Cheshire's abuse any longer, Cereza leapt to her feet. Behind her tears, Cereza's eyes burned with fury. I save you, and this is the thanks I get. Maybe if you weren't so helpless, I wouldn't need to fight all your battles. Cheshire was not about to back down.
Why am I not surprised? I wouldn't expect a demon like you to understand anyway. And just so we're clear, you say I'm weak, but you can't survive without me either, remember?
Look at you! You wouldn't last 5 minutes in this forest without me! Their fight was quickly reaching its boiling point. Then came the straw that broke the demon's back.
Don't forget who summoned you here. Why don't you just behave like a proper demon and do as I say?
Cheshire's eyes narrowed For a second, he was quiet. Cheshire broke the silence with a threatening growl.
I wish I'd never summoned you! Good. That's it. We're through.
Cereza's final words echoed off the trees. Then all was still.
Chapter 9. Alone again. Well, despite the fact that we've already established that Cereza and Cheshire cannot be away from each other for extended periods of time without the screen fading to black, it kind of feels like a bit of a plot inconsistency, if anything. But welcome to Ashenbark. We have a sanctuary here, and without Cheshire, we also have no Ignis, which means that if you try to leave or change your costume, that actually won't be possible at this point in the game. You can still switch Cereza's things and her abilities, mind you, but just not Cheshire's. So while we're here, we certainly have the means of grabbing basically everything we want here. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like to dance alone.
Maybe like this? Yes!
All right, well, that was about as standard as a girl dancing in front of her mirror could get. I guess the lack of an audience works just as well here as it does in her bedroom. But with that being said, let's proceed.
I can get through this forest fine by myself. I'm not scared.
All right, Cereza, whatever helps you sleep at night, because this looks terrifying as hell. And before we brave it, or at least attempt to...
An odd structure appeared out of the gloom, towering before Cereza.
Cereza, you can do this on your own. You don't need anyone's help.
You most certainly do not. That is, unless it involves them, you know, talking your way out of this delectable as hell looking cheese block, or some of this flan dessertiness, or hell, even the space lollipop. If you get caught in these things without Cheshire, don't worry. You don't even take damage, and you bust out of it in, you know, a couple seconds. So it's not the worst thing in the world. At least it's not getting burnt to an absolute and utter crisp, which is bound to happen on your way through this area.
If I'm not careful, I'll be burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I love the way the fire is depicted in this game. It looks so good. It's like the perfect level of cartoon animation, but also like it looks more hand-drawn than the rest of the world. So I like it a lot. It's good and it serves its purpose. Flames everywhere. Oof is right. Why did you start walking off on your own there, Cereza?
There could be fairies anywhere. I've got to keep quiet.
We've also got these rotatos. Not a big fan of those. Also, we cannot fight. So hopefully we don't find ourselves at odds with any fairies. Fairies. Come on. There we go. Over here we have a running sequence. This is moderately terrifying because look at that. You don't want to get caught on that. You're a little hot on your heels. There we go. Okay, so I guess we could probably go ahead and follow this. I'm not gonna bother getting... Oh, let's get over here. Oh my god. The timing on that is really weird. We can't do this just yet. I think once we inevitably reunite with Cheshire, we'll be able to come back here. But we have a twofer over here, so I'm just gonna wait a second. We'll go with this one. Nice. Keep on going. God, it's so fast. We have to go down. We have to go down. Okay. Oh, I should have totally gotten burnt there, man. Oh my god. Once again, cooking with some fish oil here. All right. Now, oh boy, this section. So this fire will not go out unless, you know, we pull the lever down. That's going to come into play here shortly, as guess what? We have one just out of reach. Go figure, right? We also have all of these nice little vents on the floor that are going to show us where fire is going to pop up, but only when we push this grate down. Ah, this is great. That's right, we gotta deal with this asshole. Cereza does not yet have the powers to defeat an enemy on her own, so we have to bind enemies to proceed forward. This one is gonna be shooting at us until we can get this on the other side.
Cereza was on her own this time. How was she going to get out of this pickle?
I mean, I can think of a couple ways, and it involves my witchy powers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rebind once he gets back up so that we can make our way a little more safely. But you can use this to actually not get hurt by any of his moves. So, woof, did you see that? I, like, jilted there. Okay, so we take it slowly. Invincible frames. All right, get out of there. Thank you. Uh-oh, uh-oh. There we go. We could probably do it again, but as long as you keep moving, you should be fine. All right. So, can't hit me from there, but your friend can. That's great. Okay. You see what I mean here, man? All right, get you out of that. I think we'll live. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take it safe. Don't want to get hurt here, because that would be silly. Oof. Okay, that did not cast when I wanted it to. Jesus, can you do it from any farther away? There we go. Okay, we gotta move this up. Come on, run! There we go, there we go. Okay, we move it over here. Oh boy. Oof. Oh shoot, I didn't want to, oh my god, really? I wanted to grab it, not climb up it. That's why I hate these crates. They're the worst. Okay, go to the right, forward. Oh my god, that should have hit me. Run, activate it. That's the only way we can defeat them. Thank you for invincibility frames. Okay, get out of there. Run. Oh, I hate those guys.
That's it! Here we go.
Well, it's a really good thing we didn't take any longer on that, because we would have been overwhelmed like crazy. All right, onward.
Cereza had certainly grown stronger since entering the forest. But even so, making her way alone was proving more difficult than expected. If only Cheshire were here.
No, I'm better off without that beast. I can make it through this forest myself.
Cereza heard a familiar voice. It was Cheshire. Injured, he was fleeing from a group of fairies.
Not my problem.
Ooh, I know you're a witch, but harsh much? Damn. All right, let's follow the paw prints.
Somehow, Cereza had made it through. Solo adventuring was turning out much more difficult than she had anticipated. The optimism she had right after splitting up with Cheshire was long gone. Speaking of Cheshire, Cereza couldn't help remembering him.
I mean, we only did just speak to him less than 10 minutes ago, let's be honest here. Oh man. Another trap, don't fall for it, Cereza. The trees are not as good as you remember them being. Nice little spot to save here, should you need it. And moving on, let's head up the stairs and behold the magnificence of Puka's fortress.
A colossal iron structure stood before her eyes. It was a fort built by the fairies.
Man, that thing is just so creepy and ominous looking. And I know I'm doing a lot of personalization here, but it does look like it's a face with like its mouth gaping wide open, just waiting to devour us, you know? Its eyes shot open in fear because it got stabbed through the forehead, and it's just like, man. But that might just be me personifying this structure.
Cereza once again spotted Cheshire. Incapacitated by his wounds, he was surrounded by fairies.
What has he gotten himself into now? Nope, not going to worry about it.
But before she knew what she was doing, Cereza had set off in Cheshire's direction.
I'm just going to take a look. I can't let anything happen to my stuffed cat.
Definitely not. I love how those fairies were also like, whoa, one hit, that was it? That's all we had to do? That was easy. Jeez. Why was everyone else having so much trouble with that? But it's time to save Cheshire. So a whole lot of good that conflict did between the two. Now, like I had said before, the plot point that I wanted to end the last episode on, which I'm glad I didn't, it still ended up being like 40 minutes, was them separating in the beginning of this chapter, which is among one of the shortest in the entire game. So I think we'll probably see it by the end of the video. I'm trying to take my time here so that we aren't just speeding right through it. But what do we have here? A monstrously large building? You don't say. Well, at the moment, we don't really want to get into any conflict with anybody, so anytime we see somebody in our attempts to explore, the game won't even let us. Yeah, definitely don't want that to happen. Maybe we should just wait until we find a new friend or something, you know?
Who is he talking to?
The fairies had captured Cheshire. Within their ranks was one regal-looking fairy who stood out from all the others. He appeared to be talking to Cheshire, but it was too far to hear what he was saying.
What does that fairy want with Cheshire?
The fairies carried him into some kind of fortress.
Cheshire!
Forgetting the peril of her situation, Cereza rushed to follow the fairies into their stronghold.
No good. There must be another way in. You!
The elusive white wolf had appeared right before Cereza. It called out to her before running away.
Alright, well, if that isn't the most convenient plot device...
Where are you going? You know another entrance?
Very nice. Well, obviously, we are going to come back here with Cheshire as well, because let's see the White Wolf douse out this thing with its flood, you know. But you're going to go ahead and drop that down for me, right? Please and thank you. Oh, I appreciate it, bud. Thank you. As he just waits there, tail erect, happy as hell to see us.
Listen, this fortress is crawling with fairies. I think you should sit this one out.
But the wolf just stared at her, showing no signs of moving. "Let's go together," the wolf's determined eyes seemed to be saying to her.
Thanks. You know, to be honest, I was a little scared going alone. Don't tell Cheshire I said that.
And so, Cereza and the White Wolf infiltrated deep into the enemy's stronghold.
We say that as if it was almost a monumental task. But now we're in Puka's fortress, and there goes Cheshire.
Oh, Cheshire. Just what have you gotten yourself into this time?
Okay, Cereza, don't lay all the blame on yourself now. We have ourselves a nice little arcane lantern here, and That's just kind of there just for giggles and things. Ooh, good jump. I guess you don't need mushrooms to launch yourself up after all. Well, I will take this, and if you want, you can kind of take a minor look around here. This is going to be more pertinent, you know, a bit later once we have Cheshire, but you can't do anything now, and it's just there for, you know, the V-Bays. So we have these interesting looking devices here that will actually reverse the flow of these gears, but we have to do a fancy clock dance in order to activate them. It's very slow and very sensual, but if you ask your dad who was born in the 60s about it, he will know exactly what you're talking about.
Oops. I don't think it's supposed to turn that way. Oh well, it works for me.
Indeed. So we can go ahead and jump over here, and whatever you do, don't activate this one because it's already going in the right direction. Over here, we can't do much about this. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't... Is it up there? There's, I think, a Tiernanog around here that we can only get to once we rescue Cheshire. But that'll have to wait until a bit later, I guess. Okay, what is this? Yeah, it's making me dizzy too. Tell me about it. Okay, so you're up there, and I can go ahead and hop onto this. Nice. And this is essentially what we're going to be dealing with for a while. I love the action Cereza pose she had there. Can't take too many shortcuts, so it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't really go out of its way to throw you any curveballs. That is until you get to this point.
Within, the fairies seem to be arguing about something loudly.
I don't understand what they're saying, but if I know these fairies, it must be something absolutely nefarious.
That's right, it's time for solid Cereza. You have to be kind of careful. Again, there is very little consequence to getting caught here. You literally start right back at the right-hand side of the screen. So just take your time because you're going to have to wait for these cycles fully to go through. Don't even try to cut any corners, otherwise you're just going to be cutting your ego short. But just slide on by very carefully. Gentle. Gentle. Over here we have a phase 2. This one isn't too bad either. We just kind of have to follow him, go from right to left, and just hope he doesn't see us. Luckily, their buddies are arguing over a friendly game of chess back there, so this one, you are going to wait until you pass as ships in the night, and then you'll be fine. Look at that. Look at that little Scooby-Doo ass, like, tiptoeing past these things. All right, we made it. No more stealth. Ever. Thank goodness. I was done with that. So, once again, deal with some sustains. And, you know, it'd be nice if there was like a little button here or something. I don't just have to bewitch the entire thing. I don't need magic to solve all my problems.
This reminds me of climbing the clock tower with Sean. She acted so tough, but I knew she was scared.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to fall here. Also, I'm pretty sure Jean would not like that either. But over here and to the right. Now, this one is a little unique in the sense that we can get a sneak peek of things to come, starting with, oof, almost breaking my kneecaps on the corner of that platform. Oh my god, and you can see those shadows of enemies.
Yes!
Wow, I'm actually impressed that I'm still able to pick up health tonics. Are you guys having a good time over there, just sort of floating in space? I know your shading effects do. But if we climb up here, we're not exactly going to be able to collect this until we have Cheshire, for obvious reasons. So we'll come back to that in due time, Superman. Instead, we drop down here, and we are back to where we would be if we just followed the path. You know, the old straight and narrow. Can't do anything about that either, despite how rickety this thing looks. It's like, hey, do you mind leaning on this for 5 seconds? Maybe use a part of your dingle-dangle of a head and bust yourself out of here, but that's fine. We will do another dance to activate this elevator. I guess we're now in the business of being the world's greatest witch janitor. All this nonsense we're doing. I have to do this every daylight savings, trust me. It gets old real quick. Where are you going? White Wolf? Where are you going? Oh, you're gonna be running this way. Alright. Let's see. If I go in this direction, oof! Oh, there's a big old Gog
Look at
Magog.
those fairies. How am I going to make it out of here?
Yikes, it's like an entire freaking army. Don't worry, you can't fall down. At least I don't know how. If you could, that'd be pretty impressive. But thank you for the blast cocktail I did not need. Appreciate it. Can I even do it? I jumped off when I was trying. No, you can't. Alright, now this should be the last mechanism. We will dance until our legs give out and we can dance no more. Cereza's got the night fever, and I do too. There we go. We have one more, because, you know, simply was not enough. There we go. Now we can go on through in a one-way.
This tower just keeps going. Cheshire, where are they taking you?
Oh, just you wait, Cereza. Just you wait.
Cheshire!
They had finally found Cheshire. He was covered in wounds from head to toe. Hiding in the shadows, Cereza was surprised to hear one of the fairies speaking words she understood. It is simple! We just need the girl. Stay out of our way, and we will ensure your return to the demon realm. They were speaking in Nokian, the language of angels and demons. It sounded like the regal fairy was trying to strike a deal with Cheshire. Cereza felt her heart beating in her chest. What will it be? This is your last chance, demon. Cereza waited for his answer with bated breath. Then she heard the familiar deep growl. Oh, like I can trust a fairy. I'll devour every last one of you. Despite his battered body, Cheshire's eyes still smoldered with defiance.
Cheshire!
Thankfully, the White Wolf held the nearby fairies at bay.
Thanks! Cheshire!
The sudden appearance of two intruders had the fairy fortress in a frenzy. Cereza seized the opportunity and freed Cheshire from his shackles. It was splendid teamwork.
Glad to see you're up for a fight. These naughty fairies are about to get punished.
Not bad. Better than your crying. Punishment, is it? With pleasure. Both Cereza and Cheshire were on fire.
Wait, we're both on fire? That sounds terrible. All right, let's let the game slow down.
Prepare yourselves!
Oh my god. Okay. That was obscene. Oh my god. Oof. So we've got a couple of these guys doing their business. That's fine. I don't mind. Oof. Now. Oh. Belly flop, and we've got fire. Alright, let's do something like this. Oof. Okay, he did not want to go quietly. That's fine. Okay, Cheshire is just aiming at whoever the hell he feels like at this point. Okay. All right, let's slow down. Take it easy. Take a bite out of crime. Oh my god. You guys are like insane. Oof. All right, let's finish him. Oh.
Cool. Cheshire?
A large gash was cut on Cheshire's leg. Bits of cotton were falling out, along with his magical energy. The fairies had not been kind to their captive. Cheshire could hide his pain no longer.
That cut!
Unless the wound was mended, the magic-infused threads that bound Cheshire to this world would not last long.
Hold still. If you move around like that, you'll just make things worse.
Cereza needed to suture the wound as soon as possible. There was only one way she could think to do it.
Remember, Cereza, as blood flows through veins, magic flows through a witch's hair. Care for it as you would your most precious tool, and defend it as you would your very heart.
Sorry, Morgana, but I found something more important.
These were the precious locks Cereza was growing out to resemble her mother. As expected, they worked their magic. Cheshire's wound closed in an instant. Don't blame me if that teacher of yours has a fit, Cheshire said quietly.
Don't worry, it'll grow back. Besides, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in this mess in the first place. I promised to send you back. Umbra Witch's honor. What I'm trying to say is...
But before she could finish, Cheshire had already returned to his miniature form. Well, get a move on, will you? He added with a squeak.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Cereza gave Cheshire a tight embrace. Somehow she felt that Cheshire was doing the same.
Chapter 10. The King's Entrance.
Restoration magic! I've never been able to pull that off before. I wonder if it might work on something else.
That's right, all of these platforms that we have seen broken and suspended in midair can now be used by restoration magic. It's actually really easy. All you have to do is clockwise rotation, and for a limited amount of time, you have a platform. So let's head over here and probably end things off. We are about to take on the boss of the fortress. I bet you can guess who it is. And it is going to be an incredibly long ordeal. This section of the game, I feel like, is just almost too long, but it'll be well worth it because then it's the end of the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here on Bayonetta Origins. Next time on the game, we take on the King of the Fortress. And hopefully it doesn't take forever, because I know it will. Take it easy, everybody, and I hope to see you guys then.